And I'm muted. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you and happy July. We're kicking off this month right with all kinds of joy here because it's time for Project Joy Live. I just love some new beginnings. I love some new beginnings. As you can tell, my new little background. It's hard to see sometimes because it's so bright. It's so bright, but it goes to what we want to do here on Project Joy Live, which is to love loud. I saw this at the store, and I was like, I need this because I feel this, and so I've made the executive decision that we are going to love loud for the rest of 2024. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to be outright with our love for people and share our appreciation, share our gratitude, share our joy, share our love, share our peace. And we're just going to, if we put our energy towards that, then there will be less energy for the other things that we don't have a desire to really want to experience. So, good morning, everybody. And you're watching Project Joy Live. It's your triple shot of good vibes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, only on the Breakthrough Show Network. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and super excited to be here with you today for another episode. It is also Canada Day today. And this is significant. You're like, Jessica, how is this significant to you? Because you are in the United States. But I will say this. First of all, my husband is Canadian. And so some of you don't know that, but my husband is Canadian. And I have Canadian family. I have a lot of Canadian friends that I have met through my work here on the Breakthrough Show Network and Canadian colleagues because of that same reason. So happy Canada Day to all those that are celebrating. And I want to talk to you about all of the things that we're going to talk about on Project Joy Live this morning, now in the morning brew. I am feeling much more awake today than I have the last couple of days. It's always interesting starting new routines. Always interesting starting new routines, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit as we talk about the newness that is, in the air today. It is a Monday. It's the start of a week. It is the 1st of July. It's the start of a new month. And so we have a lot to discuss today about newness. And so I'll dive into the newness and fun time that is a new routine as we have our conversation today. But we're going to celebrate today. We're going to talk about our national days. We're going to talk about some of the awarenesses. Over the next month, over the month of July. And I just realized that I brought up all my information and then it went bye bye. So I'm pulling it back up now as we talk. We're going to celebrate today. We are also going to, in the Daily Uplift, talk about newness, new beginnings, and how we can experience more joy in this idea of newness, because sometimes that can be stressful for people. And then after our break, of course, we have birthdays. We're going to be listening. Happy birthday. That should not have happened. I just realized after the break, we're going to listen to the For Love poem and do birthdays, as you saw, as I was just going down my list and being click happy over here. And then we, of course, talk about what's going on in the Breakthrough Show Network the rest of the week, because it's always amazingness that's happening around here. So all of that said, I want to kick things off by celebrating today and talking about our national days and holidays happening this month. There's always something to celebrate. And I really love that about this existence, this life, that there's always something to celebrate, even if, I think the majority of the things that we're celebrating are man-made days, but they're fun to go over nonetheless. So I want to start with some lighter things here this morning as we look at our national days that are happening today. It's National Ginger Snap Day. I love ginger snaps, one of my favorite cookies ever. But I really love ginger. I don't know if you guys have ever had golden milk. It's called, but there's like different spices that you can warm up in milk, and it's kind of like an herbal concoction of sorts. But you usually put turmeric, ginger, black pepper. I love anything ginger. I always have, and I think that's why I gravitate towards a lot of the foods from the East. So, like Thai food and Indian food and things like that. I just love ginger so much. So, needless to say, all of that into I love a ginger snap cookie. I do enjoy. I think when I was younger, I really liked just the softer cookies, like more like a gingerbread sort of thing. But I've come to appreciate the snap as I've gotten older, and I love a ginger snap cookie. Let me know if you guys love ginger snap cookies as well. Yes. Good morning, Miss Nancy, by the way. And good morning, Miss Mandy B. Good to see you here today. I just had a gluten-free vegan ginger cupcake in honor for breakfast. I'm here for that. I'm here to tell you that sometimes cupcakes for breakfast are okay. Besides the fact that a muffin is just a cupcake without frosting. Amen. Okay, so if you just like, I'm here for cupcakes for breakfast, is what I'm saying. So I love that Ginger Snap Day. And to keep on the food theme, it's also National Creative Ice Cream Flavors Day. Really interesting. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. July 1st marks National Creative Ice Cream Flavors Day as a day to sample or wonder about the odd combinations of ice cream flavors. Today encourages you to skip the traditional chocolate, vanilla, strawberry ice cream when you celebrate this holiday. Now, the interesting thing about this is that I know a lot of people that are really kind of purists when it comes to ice cream. They're like, absolutely not, must have my vanilla. Absolutely not, must have my chocolate, right? And so I don't know, I don't discriminate with ice cream, guys. I really don't. And I feel like I have been stepping into more of a space of trying different flavors and opening my mind to the possibility that something I might not think would be good could be good. And that my family got me a Ninja Creamy for Mother's Day, and when I got the Ninja Creamy, it was with the intention of making more whole food, plant based ice creams because I don't want to. Because I'm trying to minimize sugar, sneak in veggies, some different things like that. And so I joined a couple groups on Facebook. I bought an ebook, which has been really amazing. I follow some people on social media who make, different concoctions with the Ninja Creamy. And so thank you so much, my personal barista this morning with my tea in my joy mug today. By the way, today I choose joy. So with the trying things out, my mind has been blown. I made a mint chocolate chip ice cream that you would literally, the foundation of the ice cream was zucchini, and you would never know. It was so delicious. And so I'm going into this space. I say all of that to say this. I'm going into this space of creative ice cream flavors and combinations of ingredients that would just blow your mind. And so I'm here. I'm here to celebrate this National Creative Ice Cream Flavors Day because I feel like that's my world that I'm in right now. In addition, it's National U.S. Postage Stamp Day. I'm kind of enjoying the transition that we've made into these forever stamps. I'm not condoning being a hoarder, but if you got to buy your stamps before the price goes up, please go do that. And in the same theme, it is also National Postal Worker Day. And I really have a new appreciation for our postal workers because this is not my season. I do not like the heat. This is the season when I whine a lot because I don't like the heat. And yeah, it's just like it's not my favorite time of year. If I can go somewhere where I can be cool, I'll be great and wonderful and all of that. But it was so hot the other day and just absolutely ridiculous outside. And I didn't even know because I thought that we live on a dead end road, but we're also behind a school. So you can technically turn around like in the school parking lot, if that makes sense. So I thought this whole time that our postal worker drove down the whole road regularly, which I've seen them come down here, but apparently they only do this if there's a big package to be delivered on our road. I have watched the last several days, hot as hell out, our postal worker park like all the way across the T section of where you turn down to go down our road, park over there and walk all the way down here. And it's not like this is not like smooth walk. We are in we are in one of the areas of New London that could stand to be paved and remade over the most out of everybody in the whole area. But it's not an easy walk. And it's also, it's city. It's a rougher area in general. This isn't like, you know, some little tiny little town or whatever, and so it's rougher in general in this area. And so I really had a new appreciation for our postal workers who this time of year, really any time of year, because in the winter it can get just as rough in some areas. And so new appreciation for them. But National Postal Worker Day on July 1st recognizes postal workers all across the nation and encourages us to show our appreciation. Thank the numerous men and women who work consistently and diligently to deliver all of our mail. These employees suffer some of the harshest working conditions, yet continue to persevere 6 days a week. And some of them, as we know, are into 7 days a week because we're still getting stuff delivered on Sundays. I don't know if that's everywhere, but I see that in a lot of places. So all that to say, I hope you will find something that you can celebrate today for sure. I am going to pull up here as well because I wanted to talk. We're starting a new month. And wanted to go over a couple little things here. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, some of the awarenesses for the month of July. It is National Hemp Month in the month of July. It celebrates the roaring comeback of one of the world's most useful and versatile plants, and that is hemp. For more than 80 years, laws banning cannabis also exiled hemp, even though it's not intoxicating. Now, legal advancements are changing how people view and access hemp. National Hemp Month offers an occasion to rediscover hemp and its usefulness for both people and the environment. If you want to go down a rabbit hole with that, there's a lot of different environmental things that we could be using hemp for. So definitely, if you want a rabbit hole, go check that out. It's National Anti-Boredom Month. That's interesting. In the month of July, we celebrate National Anti-Boredom Month. This monthly observance encourages everyone to identify what makes us bored and find ways to combat it. We kind of talked about that we didn't dive completely into the verbiage of what I'm talking about here. But in a roundabout way, we talked about that on Spirit Sessions yesterday when we were discussing, we had a whole episode on virtual co-working and the Pomodoro technique that we use in our virtual co-working sessions. And I think that it's not even something we touched on, but I think those sessions are a great way to combat boredom. A lot of us, maybe we don't like the chores that we have to do around our house or certain tasks in our business because we find them boring. Maybe we don't find them intellectually stimulating. I mean, I'm an Aquarius, and the last time I checked, when I went to go do dishes, my dishes didn't have a conversation with me about the effectiveness of certain brands of soap. You know what I mean here? So we might find certain things bored. And I think one of the ways that you can combat that is to do things in a community environment of other people who they may find it boring what they're doing too, but you're coming together to do it together. And it can kind of ease that um the feeling of aloneness, the feeling of isolation, the feeling of I'm bored because I'm the only one that has to do this sort of thing. And so I think a great way that we can combat boredom in National Anti-Boredom Month is to come try out our virtual Pomodoro sessions or our co-working sessions. It's National Grilling Month this month. We love to grill. We grill all the time in the summer. If it didn't snow, I would totally grill all year round. But as we talked about with the weather, I wouldn't want it to not snow because I would die. So it's for those of you that are artists, it's World Watercolor Month. Love that. It's National Peach Month. I can get behind that. I love some peaches. National Picnic Month, Blueberry Month. It is National Ice Cream Month all month. Also, Horseradish Month, Culinary Arts Month, Baked Bean Month. I love some baked beans. So there's lots of different ways for you to celebrate, and I would love to know what you are going to choose to celebrate for the month of July. Nancy said, I don't know if I've ever had ginger dairy-free ice cream. Have you? I've certainly put ginger in ice cream. Maybe I'll make like some sort of golden milk ice cream. I feel like that would be completely delicious. You put me on it, Nancy. I'm going to try it and report back in the name of science, of course. To make sure that it's good. Mandy said, I love trying different kinds. I just have to be careful which brands I eat. Yes, absolutely. Share the recipe. So the recipe that I used for the mint chocolate chip ice cream is what you're talking about. If you look up broccoli mum on Instagram, I will try to remember to send you the link to that specific recipe, but she is completely whole food plant-based diet, and she does the that particular recipe, but you can check her out. I'll try to remember to send that. Absolutely, hemp is beautiful to make home goods for sure. You can eat it, you can drink it, you can wear it, all of the things. Mandy said, I love Pomodoro, very grateful for it. It has changed a lot for me. I'm so glad to hear that, Mandy, for sure. Yes, and it's Brittany month. If you see, so this is what happens here. It's July, which means a certain person's birthday is month. So let's just usher it in.
It's Brittany, bitch.
It's Brittany month. Okay, we just officially ushered it in here on Project Joy Live. All right. You already know. What's up, Becky? Oh my God. So Becky and I go back a real long way, you guys. Long way. Good to see you here this morning. But yeah, so we're ushering in Brittany month with Brittany's introduction. So it is the month of July, and celebrating all of those people who we go from Cancer to Leo, right, during the month of July. And so it's a fun time. It's a fun time with the emotions and all of that. And we're just going to leave it at that. With a new month becomes a lot of newness. And I want to sort of dive into that today in our daily uplift for just a couple minutes. So Change, we've talked about so often before, is a challenging one for us as humans. We don't like change, yet I think most of us can understand the necessity of it. Most of us understand that life is change. We are constantly changing everything in nature, our thoughts, our bodies, everything is constantly changing. Yet, what's wild to me with this necessity and matter of factness that is change in life, sometimes we can be so uncomfortable with it, fearful of it, um, and not a fan, not a fan of something that is inevitable. And so I wanted to kind of lean into that with you guys here this morning because it is a Monday, it's a new week, because it is July 1st, it is a new month. And we have all of this feeling of newness around us. And I wanted to lean into that a little bit with you guys here this morning. In addition, Friday is also a new moon. So we're coming into that newness as well. And we know that with newness comes an idea of change. We know that it's more in our awareness. Let me put it that way. We know that it's inevitable. Change is part of our lives. However, when we hit that new week, when we hit that new month, the new moon, a birthday, a new year, all of these different feelings of newness, it's more in our awareness. So we're more like, oh, and that discomfort comes to the surface a little bit. And so, what I want everybody to lean into this morning is the any comfort that you can find in the newness. So, for example, what gratitude can you have for the things that have happened leading up to this point in 2024? Because ultimately, everything that has happened up until this point, even beyond everything that's happened since you were born into this planet, everything that has happened until this point has made you who you are in this very moment. So, what gratitude can you have for leading up until this point? I will say, what gratitude do we have for the first 6 months of the year? I'm so thankful to be back here in my hometown, where I grew up, in Connecticut. It's been, I want to say life changing, but the area here where I grew up has such a profound impact on me growing up. I'm not sure if it's life changing or soul finding that I came back, and some of y'all will will resonate with that. And if it doesn't, it can be in one ear and out the other. But I feel like it's been soul finding for me to come back home here. And so I'm very grateful about being back here. Things have not been easy the beginning part of this year. However, I've really been in a space of recognizing how far I've come. And so I'm very thankful for that recognition that I have experienced the first part of this year. Once you recognize, okay, what are the gratitudes that you can have coming up to this moment, we need to be thankful and really have a reverence for this exact moment. And it's even hard saying that because as I'm saying moment, we're now in another one. Right. So so what we're looking for in this space of newness is an appreciation for right now and right now and right now for our experience. I think is a great way to put it, for whatever our experience is in the moment. And that can help us really, like, I think some of the fearfulness around newness and change is the anticipate at first, like we talked about, the awareness that some things are falling away, we're leaving some things behind, and also the fearfulness, the lack of control we might feel over what's to come in the future. So the real appreciation and gratitude and peace comes from right now and now and now, if that makes sense for everybody. So I really would love for everybody today to lean into the moment, right this moment, right now, and allow yourself to experience the gift of the present, because it's a choice to lean into the things from the past, and it's a choice to be fearful of the future. And I'm still going to say it's a choice, even if there are traumas and things that lay a certain foundation for that fearfulness. So, leaning into the present, I feel, is so important with us as we talk about new beginnings, and the newness that is the second half of 2024. And then once we really got into that appreciation, we can think of, and I want everybody to chime in the comments today. What is something that you really envision for yourself for the next half of the year? And I know we talked about this in the beginning of June because we were coming up on that, we're at that halfway mark there. But I want you to kind of go into the comments and share what is something you really envision for yourself? Not necessarily a physical thing, but like, what energy do you envision yourself in for the next half of the year? Do you envision yourself being completely at peace? Do you envision yourself approaching things with kindness? Do you envision yourself loving fully who you are? Do you envision for yourself learning to appreciate the things that you've been to up until this point? What are the things that you envision for yourself? And for me, I think it is important for me to keep leaning into the further opening of my mind. We know that we have, since birth, been inundated with the opinions and experiences of other people. Now, I am the last one that's going to tell you that storytelling is harmful, because I believe there's magic in storytelling. However, part of the challenge that I've recognized for myself is in hearing these stories, how influenced by those stories are you going to become? And one of the things that I enjoy talking about when we're having this conversation is the movie Runaway Bride with Richard Gere and Julia Roberts. So there's the concept of the movie, for anybody that hasn't seen it, is that Julia Roberts is sort of this serial engaged person. She keeps meeting people and getting engaged, and then she runs at the altar. And they're trying to figure out why does this happen? And they initially start by sort of demonizing her as being just this abandoner of a person. But there's this one scene that really has always spoken to me. And some of you guys might know this. It's the scene with the eggs. And so at one point, Richard Gere, who plays the writer, a newspaper writer, and an article writer in this film, he asks her what kind of eggs she likes. And because the reason he asks her that is because every one of her partners that he interviewed said that she liked a different kind of egg. So when he asked the one guy, he's like, she likes scrambled, just like me. And the next guy said, she likes eggs Benedict, just like me. And so he realized that she was just going along with whatever her partner wanted to have for eggs, that she didn't actually, he challenged her and he said, I don't think you actually know what kind of eggs you like. And she's like, well, that's ridiculous. And then she goes, well, is it? And there's this scene where she's spread out at a table and she has any kind of eggs you could think about. And she's trying all of them to determine what she likes and not to give it away. But she does say later, I like this kind of eggs now, because she took the time to really figure that out, what it means to her. So the energy that I'm stepping into for the remainder of the year is that continuing of discovering myself. It's a commitment to allowing my mind to be opening and determining what certain things mean to me and not being afraid of it. I for those of you who were not here in the beginning, I was talking about my sign here that I got, that I saw in the store. It says love loud, in case it's very bright, which is the point of it. It's very bright. And I recognize for myself that there were times when I feel like it has been expressed that I was too sensitive or too loving or too naive or too whatever people have said over time, and that's not me. It's just never been me, if I'm being frank. And so my commitment is to leaning into myself, which part of that for me is loving loud, to express that in a big way. When somebody means something, to not be afraid. When somebody let me finish my thought there. Sorry, I do that often. When somebody means something to me, to not be afraid to express that to them, to not sit there and overthink it and go, well, is it a good time? Maybe I shouldn't message. Maybe I shouldn't say it in such a big way, because ultimately we can only be who we are. So, my commitment to myself, the energy that I'm leaning into for the remainder of the year, is to continue to step into that person that is me, and in knowing who I am unapologetically. That's my sort of energy for the next half of the year. Let's see. Brittany said, I see myself in happiness and overflowing with love. Love it. Love loud. Love loud. Becky said, for me, it's learning to love myself and continue on my journey of finding my authentic self as I navigate through therapy. I love that, Becky. Love it. Yeah. And that's that, finding self. On paper, it seems so simple, right? It seems like, well, you can only know yourself. And I get that part of it. But I think that part of it is an allowing. I think even our fear, even our act of putting on a mask, is authentic to who we are in the moment. The question is, do we recognize that? The question is that who we want to be? Right? So there's many different layers to that discovery of authenticity and ourselves and who we are, that if we want to commit to it, next thing you know, we're sitting at a table with, I mean, some of us are vegan and so maybe not eggs, but we're sitting at the table with 20 variations of something and going, okay, what is it that I actually love? It's okay to have a favorite. It's okay to go, it doesn't, I didn't think we were going to go here today, but here we are. It doesn't discount anybody's experience for you to pick a favorite. It doesn't, let's just use the Julia Roberts in Runaway Bride example. It wouldn't have discounted her partner's loving of Eggs Benedict if she chose to say, well, I love fried eggs. It doesn't discount an experience. So I think it's important for us to lean into that. This is what I love. And from the leadership perspective, which we often talk about here, understanding that someone else expressing what has worked for them, what they love, what they appreciate, what they believe, that doesn't take away our experience. So we have no need to react in a fearful or any kind of way other than completely supportive and go, that's great for you. That's great. We don't need to be bitter about it, which sometimes I notice we can be, it's like if someone goes, I just like say we're in a sad, not great financial state, and someone goes, I was walking along one day and I found $2 million on the ground. And I think it's easy for us as humans to go, oh, well, that's great for you, right? Like some of us have to work for that, or some of us may not ever be there. Can it be easy for us to have a little bit of that snark? Maybe we can go, maybe you can tell me a good place to walk where I could find $2 million lying on the ground. Now, obviously, being a little facetious here with, a little exaggerating as we're talking about this, but you get my point. Somebody else's beliefs and all of that that impact our experience. And so lean in to your authentic experience. That egg scene got me so well. I realized I was doing versions of that in relationships and myself. Absolutely. Yes. We all do it in certain kind of ways. We dim ourselves because somebody else likes something different than us. Good morning, Teresa. Good. You're never late. You're right on time. Teresa, good to see you here today. Brittany said, I see myself living in my passion. I see myself in a new place. I see myself flourishing and blooming in all aspects of life, embracing change better. Yeah, that's embracing change better. Yeah. I'm letting go of control to have better control in my life. It does make sense. It does make sense. Letting go of how we expect things to be, I think is magic. It's magic because then we realize, oh, I have more control than I realized that I did. Good morning, Kevin, Kylie. Always good to see you here today. All of that being said, I invite you all. I'm not going to tell you you should or you shouldn't, but I invite you to lean into the newness that is this week, this month, the new moon coming up on Friday. Lean into the newness. Don't be scared of it because the newness is this moment in time, and you are who you are in this moment in time with your fears, with the masks that you're choosing to wear, with the things that in your mind non-ideal experience that you're having in your life. That is all of you in this present moment. So lean into it. Know that it's who you are right now, and that you can it's all changing because that is life. And we're going to take a quick break and come back with birthdays, so don't go anywhere.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you,
I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. I shall stand for love, for the world is wounded, not just my little piece of land, where I am mostly safe, where I am mostly well, but our world, everywhere, every day. I shall stand for love, because we need more light, not more death, not more power, not more bombs. I shall stand for love, so that our children are safe, so that our friends are sheltered, so that our borders are open. I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. Thank you for standing for love with us here on the Breakthrough Show Network. I want to get into our birthdays because that's always a great way to celebrate here on the show.
Happy birthday to you.
All right. In the world of celebrity, today would have been Princess Diana's birthday. She passed away in 1997. So sending love, happy heavenly birthday to Princess Diana. Also, Missy Elliott, one of my favorite female rappers of all time, 53 years old today. Pamela Anderson, 57 years old today. By the way, I hear she has an amazing new cookbook out. I'm going to go check that out. It's on my radar and on my list of things that I want to go through, an amazing plant-based cookbook. So make sure you guys check that out. Liv Tyler, daughter of Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, and an amazing actress herself, 47 years old today. Dan Aykroyd, a veteran in the world of celebrity, 72 years old today. And in the celebrities in my life, very name popped up and I immediately smiled because I think about him often back when I think about my time in music and performing and all of that. And Brett Wallace, who was in choir with me in high school senior year, has a birthday today. So happy birthday, Brett Wallace. All of that being said, also Brittany says happy heavenly birthday to Grandma Helen. So let me make sure we get Grandma Helen. All right. All of that said, let's get our birthday song on. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Princess Diana, Missy Elliott, Pam Anderson, Liv Tyler, Dan Aykroyd, Brett Wallace, and Grandma Helen. Happy birthday to you. Gotta be real careful with that Muppet energy when you're holding a tea, okay? Because you want to just start swinging around, but don't burn yourself. PSA. Let's talk about what's happening on the Breakthrough Show Network this week. All right. So listen, it is Canada Day today. My husband is off. Many people are off today and celebrating. We will not be having Pomodoro today. Okay. We have Pomodoro Wednesday at 1:55 p.m. and we have Pomodoro on Friday at 9:55 a.m. So no Pomodoro today, Pomodoro Wednesday and Friday. We also have, new episodes of let's see what we have going on here. The Breakthrough Show on Friday. This is a very special week for us here, you guys, because Saturday is the 6th birthday of the Breakthrough Show Network. Yay! I need an applause button. I just decided. Let me go get one of those. It is our birthday on Saturday. So Friday's episode of the Breakthrough Show, I'm going to have a special episode for you. We're going to look back at some amazing fun moments. And then Saturday, really excited because we have a special show that we call 6 Reasons, that at 10 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday, We'll be having a broadcast with many of your favorite folks from here on the Breakthrough Show Network. And we're going to be talking about 6 reasons why we love the Breakthrough Show Network, 6 ways that we've grown, 6 guests that we've loved, 6 topics that we've covered, something along that line. And so I invite you to join us for that Saturday at 10 a.m. I know some of you guys are used to coming to Soul Saturday Morning Coffee at 9:30. Our broadcast at 10 and our after party at 11, those are going to be in lieu of coffee that day. So I invite you to join us for that. Any of our broadcasts and events can be found at thebreakthroughshownetwork.com and thebreakthroughshownetwork.club. Check out the calendars there, jump in where you see fit. And I'm really excited to celebrate with all of you this week. Teresa said, I am distantly related to Princess Diana. Listen, Teresa, if you don't start that show where you start dropping some of these things that you telling us, I'm going to be so upset. Yes. Bringing 6 reasons to the party. Yes. Very excited about that on Saturday. Thank you so much, Becky, for joining us this morning. Thanks to all of you, wherever you are in the world today. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. Why? Everybody say it in the comments, because you are the joy. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
I've been lifting myself up, yeah, I've been climbing.